Good afternoon. I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here this afternoon with Michael Tabolt, Chairman of the Lewis County Board of Legislators. We just wrapped up the final day session of the annual session of the Board of Legislators, so it's still got a little bit more time before the new board gets sworn in on the 2nd of January. But basically, we just wanted to take an opportunity that Mr. Tabolt decided not to seek re-election this year. He served for 14 years on the board total and served as the last 5 as chairman of the board. So going to be a big void to fill. So we just wanted to give the chairman an opportunity if he had anything he wanted to say to the residents of the county and to his constituents out there, and just kind of think a little bit about some of the things that you've accomplished during your term as on the board and as chairman of the board.
Like you just said, it's been 14 years, so I'm not sure where I want to start, but I guess I would point out that it's ironic when I did start as chairman of the board, it was 30 years to the day that my father started his role as chair, and also we both ended up serving 5 years. I really did enjoy my term throughout as legislator. It became part of my life. But when I took over as chair, I guess you might say it became my life. Yeah. I really made things a priority, and I would hope that if nothing else, that people understand that I gave the best I could. I particularly liked working with all the county employees and legislators. It was, I think if there was any level of success that people would attribute during this term, it was all because of the people around me. You know, I just let everyone go and do what they do best, and naturally I supervised and made sure that things were going the way I like to see them, but ultimately I'm very satisfied with the way results have been over the last several years. And as far as regrets, I can honestly say that during my term as chair, there was never a day that I regret being chairman of the board. I was always proud to be chair of Lewis County.
And I think a lot of things over the last few years, there's been a lot of changes as far as you know, bringing on a strong county manager was something that the board did under your tenure. You know, just things along those lines, and I think it's quite evident in the past few years too that the concentration and the amount of effort you guys have put in to making Lewis County recognized on a state level. And I think a lot of relationships have been built on the state level, from the governor's office on down to with some of our legislators in the state house and senate and things along those lines. So I think a lot of recognition has been brought to the county within the last few years.
Absolutely, I would have to agree with that, and I would say that that's an area that I did particularly enjoy, just socializing and trying to see what the other guy, where his way of thinking come from, whether it was a local person or somebody in Albany. Right. And I did find that, you know, walking in and having one-on-one conversations with people in Albany is doable and rewarding, and you know, and after a while they begin to understand where you're from, and you know, I've invited several people from Albany to come to Lewis County, and they've taken us up on it. And so by attending their functions that they think are a priority, their favor has been returned, and that part I will miss. Yep.
So 14 years on the board, 5 years as chairman, and I think you've brought it up already, but it's kind of a family affair. Your father went through the same thing. He served on the board for quite a period of time, and as chairman as well. After 14 years, that was just enough. You've decided to move on, and
yeah, I think it's the biggest reason is maybe it becomes so much of your life that there really isn't time. Excuse me. Just isn't the time to do things that maybe you'd like to do with your life yet. Yeah. And so there comes a time where you're just a little burned out. The one thing that I won't miss is my appointment book. Yeah. It's a frequent policy of mine to look the night before to see where I'm supposed to be the next day, and that wears on. I know how that goes. That wears on you after a while. So it's not that I'm totally retiring, because I've certainly got plenty of other activities. I can't say as I've ever been bored in my life with looking for something to do. and I don't see that changing, but I think it'll be a little less strenuous running to meetings and day after day.
All right. And your district encompasses mostly the town of Croghan, the village of Croghan, that section of the county. Do you have, Randy LaChose was elected as the new representative from that area. Do you have any advice for the new board coming in and for the board in general? What direction would you like to see them move in?
I was very encouraged. Just a couple days ago, we had a sit-down meeting, orientation, if you will, with the new members of the board, and it went very well. I think they were impressed with some of the information that we gave them, and I did encourage them to have contact with the different departments, and don't be afraid to walk through departments and get to know employees and the department heads, and it's all good, you know.
Great.
So.
Well, I think you've left the board in a very, very good position, and I'm sure that the residents and the board are sorely going to miss everything that you've brought to the table, and we wish you all the best of luck and everything, and a Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Nick.
All right.
It's not like I'm just going to vanish from the planet.
That's very true.
I would hope that maybe on occasion I'll come back and
all right. Well, we look forward to that.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Chairman.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.